What's up, everybody? I'm Zanny Cakes, and we're here on the Project Diablo 2 open beta, taking a look at all of the skill trees for all of the classes, going over the changes made in Project Diablo 2. Hopefully, it will help you guys decide on what character you're going to use on Friday for your season starter. And this video is all about the Assassin. So with that, let's go ahead and take a look at the skill trees. So in the martial arts trees, we have our charge up skills. Here we have Tiger Strike. Consecutive hits add damage bonuses to finishing moves. And with 3 charges at level 1, it will increase your finishing move by 300% damage. It also adds attack rating. We have Fists of Fire. Consecutive hits add fire damage to finishing moves. Also adds attack rating. We have Cobra Strike. Consecutive hits add life and mana stealing to your attack moves. With 3 charges, you get 80% life and mana leech, so that would pretty much top you off if you do hardly any damage at all. That's a giant amount of leech for both life and mana. We have Claws of Thunder. It's a charge up skill that adds lightning damage. We have Blades of Ice. It's a charge up skill that will add cold damage, and with the Blades of Ice you get just a regular cold damage with 1 charge. You get cold damage in a radius with 2 charges, and then you get a actual freeze with 3 charges. And then we have Phoenix Strike, which adds elemental novas to finishing moves, and with 1 charge you do a meteor, with 2 charges you do chain lightning, and with 3 charges you do a chaos ice bolt that gets synergies from Fists of Fire, Claws of Thunder, and Blades of Ice. And then moving on to our finishing moves, we have Dragon Talon. Kick your enemies out of the way, adds charge up bonuses to the kick. This is the assassin version of Smite. It ignores target defense, and you're pretty much always guaranteed to hit with it. You get bonus kicks and more damage as you put more points into it. Dragon Claw will slice and dice your enemies with your dual claw class weapons, adds charge up bonuses to both claw attacks, so it's just a huge damage finishing move. We got Dragon Tail, knock back your enemies with an explosive kick and adds charge up bonuses to the kick. You get fire damage, and then it adds a huge amount of attack rating. Gets damage bonuses from Dragon Talon. And then we have Dragon Flight. Teleport to your enemies and destroy them with a kick. Adds charge up bonuses to the kick. And it's kind of like a mini teleport, but you actually have to have a target to use it, and then it will do damage and use anything that you have as far as your charge up skills go. And Shadow Disciplines, we've got Claw and Dagger Mastery, which is, I like that they made it to where you can use dagger weapons and get a bonus to those. It gives you damage, attack rating, and critical strike. Overall, I think that's a very solid change. We have Burst of Speed, increases attack and movement speed for a period of time. We have Fade, raise all resistances and resist curse for a period of time. So you get curse and poison duration reduction, all resistances, and then I would imagine that it still has the hidden bonus of 1 physical damage reduction per level in Fade. We have Venom, add poison damage to your weapons. It does quite a bit of poison damage over 0.4 seconds, and it actually has a synergy, so you can probably get it up to where it adds quite a bit of poison damage. One thing to note with Venom, if you have any poison damage from your small charm, say you have a 100 damage poison damage small charm over 7 seconds, if you have Venom on, it will only do 0.4 seconds worth of that damage. So if it normally does 100 damage over 6 seconds, then you're only going to get like 10 damage or whatever 0.4 seconds is of the duration of your charm. So if you're using Venom, your poison damage charms are pretty much useless. But with the synergy from Cobra Strike, I think that it will make a very good addition to any of the martial arts skills builds. Then we have weapon block. You have a chance to block when you're using dual claw class weapons. One thing that I like about weapon block is that it's able to block spells. You can actually block things like blessed hammers if you're PvPing. They can block the Diablo clone laser or just Diablo's laser breath. And overall, it's very good to have if you're dual wielding. Just having a block chance while dual wielding is good in and of itself. We have the Shadow Warrior. Summon a shadow of yourself that mimics your skills and fights by your side. The Shadow Warrior is interesting because it actually uses whatever skills you have active. So if you have something like Lightning Sentry on your left click and Death Sentry on your right click, the only skills that your Shadow Warrior will use would be Lightning Sentry and Death Sentry. We have the Shadow Master, which is a stronger version of the Shadow Warrior. It also has all resistances, and the Shadow Master can use any assassin skill. It doesn't matter what you have as your active skills. It can use anything, and it's pretty handy if you want it to use things like Cloak of Shadows and you don't actually want to use it yourself. Your Shadow Master will use it for you. So since we're here, Cloak of Shadows, cast a shadow to blind nearby enemies, lowering their defense for a period of time. So you get a defense bonus to yourself, and then you reduce the enemy defenses, so you'll have a better chance of hit. We have Psychic Hammer. Use the power of your mind to create a psychic blast to crush and knock back your enemies. First level is 1 nearby enemy, does 4 to 6 magic damage, costs 1.5 mana. That's kind of odd saying 1.50 mana, but either way, it costs 1.5 mana. And then it has some pretty big synergies from Mind Blast, Cloak of Shadows, and Shadow Warrior. With the large synergies, that leads me to believe that Psychic Hammer and possibly Mind Blast builds will be viable. For Mind Blast, stun a group of enemies using the power of your mind. It stuns them for 2 seconds, does physical damage, I believe, and then Psychic Hammer, Cloak of Shadows, and Shadow Warrior all increase the damage of Mind Blast. So overall, I'm pretty interested to see if Mind Blast builds are viable in Project Diablo 2. And then we have the Trap skill tree. So we have Fire Blast. Throw a fire bomb to blast your enemies into bits. Gains an extra bomb every 4 base levels, so you can get up to 5 bombs. And it's got synergy bonuses from just about everything. I don't know why you would have 6 synergies on one skill, but I guess it works for if you want to go for either fire or lightning traps. Either way, you can probably get it up to quite a bit of damage if you put all of your points into just bumping up Fire Blast. We have Shock Web. Throw a web of lightning to shock your enemies. First level, it has 4 spikes, lasts for 3.6 seconds, and does 1.1 to 7 damage per second. It also gets synergies from just about everything in this tree. We have Charge Bolt Sentry, a trap that emits charge bolts at enemies that pass near. It gets synergies from Fire Blast, Death Sentry, Lightning Sentry, and Chain Lightning Sentry. Moving on to Lightning Sentry, it's a trap that shoots lightning to scorch passing enemies. It gets synergy bonuses from Shock Web, Charge Bolt Sentry, and Death Sentry. We have the new skill here, which is Chain Lightning Sentry, a trap that shoots chain lightning to scorch enemies, passing enemies. It gets synergies from Shock Web, Charge Bolt Sentry, and Death Sentry. I think that the Chain Lightning Sentry will be a very strong skill. The mechanics of Chain Lightning make it very good for AoE, and overall it looks like it will do quite a bit of damage with the 12% synergies. We have Wake of Fire, a trap that emits waves of fire, shoots 8 times, and it gets synergies from Fire Blast and Wake of Inferno. Wake of Inferno, trap that sprays fire damage at passing enemies. It shoots 10 times, does a lot of fire damage, and then it gets synergies from Wake of Fire, Fire Blast, and Death Sentry. Death Sentry, trap that explodes nearby corpses, laying waste to enemies. Corpse explosion damage, 5 to 10% of corpse life, shoots 5 times. It's got a radius of 12 yards on the corpse explosion. It does 7 to 10 damage for both physical and fire. And then it gets synergy bonuses from Fire Blast, Wake of Fire, and Charged Bolt Sentry. Moving on to Blade Sentinel. Set a spinning blade to patrol between you and target point. It does a flat physical damage as well as adds 1/4 of your weapon damage. Then we get synergies from Blade Fury and Blade Shield. One thing to note about Blade Sentinel is it does count as a trap. With any of the traps, you can only have 5 of them out at a time. So if you are doing a hybrid lightning and blade trap assassin, if you have 5 chain lightning sentries out and then start throwing out Blade Sentinels, it will make your chain lightning sentries disappear. Blade Fury, throw spinning blades to slice up your enemies. It gives you a big bonus to attack rating, does flat damage, plus it does 100% of your weapon damage. And then it gets synergies from Blade Sentinel and Blade Shield. Blade Fury is actually a very solid skill because it does the weapon damage. You actually get benefits from things like Deadly Strike, Crushing Blow. You can proc curses if you have a chance to proc amplify damage on something. And with the flat damage as well as 100% of your weapon damage, I think that it will do quite a bit of damage. If it is the same as it is in vanilla Diablo 2, it is at a fixed 6-frame attack rate. So it actually attacks very fast. You throw out a lot of blades really quick, and the damage can add up pretty quick. Moving on to Blade Shield, we have spinning blades slice enemies who stray too close. It does flat physical damage, and then also adds half of your weapon damage. So again, it benefits from open wounds and Deadly Strike, Crushing Blow. It will proc things like amplify damage, and overall I think that it's a very good thing to supplement if you want to go with a single element trap. So if you're either going lightning or fire, you can throw in the Blade Shield and even Blade Fury to take care of immunes. Overall, there's not a whole lot of changes to the martial arts tree. I personally am not a big fan of the charge up skills. It's just that I've tried it out before and I never really liked it. I do, however, like the kick assassins. They're very good at running Ubers and declone. I think there are some very good changes to the shadow disciplines tree, and I'm really interested to see, like I said, about the Mind Blast, to see if they're actually viable to make Mind Blast builds. And then I really think the Chain Lightning Sentry Trap Assassin will be a very strong build as well. So there you have it, guys. That's the Assassin on Project Diablo 2. Check back for the other classes, and let me know down in the comments below, what are you planning on making for your season starter on Project Diablo 2? And as always, good luck, have fun, and we hope to see you out there.